Godzilla. We saw Godzilla. Now we're gonna review it. Can we get that Godzilla roar in there, Brian, right now?
Brian, please.
Let's do it again.
Now, Brian, that was repeat. Okay, thank you.
Slow-mo that.
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo this, too. Get some fast motion in there too, like this. Do it again.
Oh no, we should probably do it slow, because he's adding the fast motion. And then another explosion, please. Atomic explosion.
Because of Godzilla. We saw Godzilla. Guess who's in this movie? I don't know, maybe Walter White.
Walter Bryan Cranston White
is in this movie.
In the movie. He was the main character.
He's like, I'm science boy over here.
I'm science boy. I'm gonna kill Godzilla myself.
I don't know about that. He just wants to know some answers. What is it? He says, what is it? It's not another natural disaster. You're lying to me.
Unfortunately, he didn't get to...
He doesn't have as much screen time as all the other actors, but you got to remember, though, if you look up the movie, it even says, it's like, starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, blah, 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 and Bryan Cranston. You got to know right there, he's not going to be
the last name.
Yeah, he's not a huge... Like, he's part of the story. He's a big part of the story, but there are more important characters that the story does revolve around.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they take those characters and they just make it, they like involve you, I guess,
Takes place in many locations. This movie, and many years too. Mm-hmm. It goes starts in
1999, goes all the way to
now
2014. Span of 15 years. It was really interesting. It starts off, Bryan Cranston is like a nuclear engineer working for some Japanese, I guess, power company, and he's running the nuclear reactors somewhere in Japan.
Japan.
It was in Japan.
That's it.
Simple enough. But it's a very diverse country, and I apologize for generalizing. But it starts off, and it really, you would think that Bryan Cranston would be, the main guy. And, side note, kind of related, if you've seen Breaking Bad, which I know you have, he's really good at yelling, and you can feel the anger and he's
great at portraying anger.
Yeah.
He's just phenomenal. He gets that face and he just lets his voice even cracks, and it's just because he's just going all out.
Because he's really investing himself into the role, and he did that with Walter White, and he did that with this character now, and God, phenomenal. I mean, Bryan Cranston really is a great actor, but the movie does not really focus on him.
The movie is in the end, the actuality, the movie is about Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because
all the story
what the movie
is based around that.
This movie, I would compare it to, this is actually, I heard this from someone else and I agree, but we agree because of different reasons. This is the Man of Steel of monster movies. It's so story-driven through more than, probably the first half is very story-driven. There's some action here and there, but it's building up to this huge climax where everything just full force
Yeah.
just, goes, and then it's just that
Like
the rest
Zod
of the
and
movie.
Superman. Massive, unidentified terrestrial organism, I think.
That's right. Muto
Yeah.
is the other monster
Mm-hmm.
that is really the problem.
Yeah.
There's
Big problem.
There's a couple
Two
of them.
And it's interesting that they had a male and a female. Yeah, the male is really small compared to the massive
is
female.
when they come out of the Earth to get more radiation, they end up destroying humans.
Yeah, because like I said, they don't have manners. They're not just gonna like.
and because
swim in
the
the
humans,
ocean around
and
all these
because the
islands and
humans
continents.
see a monster in a city and they go, "Oh my God, we're being attacked!"
Yeah, let's
so they
shoot
fight it.
Yeah, the action on the human side was very exciting. Very exciting. It was
The soldier stuff was
Yeah.
great. That was really
yeah,
cool.
that was a huge portion of it because the main
'Cause-
character,
Aaron Taylor.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Aaron Taylor Johnson,
He got-
explosive ordnance disposal for the Navy. So he, is like the military guy, I guess. They did it in a good way, not making it like epic and like him taking a big machine gun Rambo style. It was realistic.
practical. It was. It was.
practical,
If it was real, that would be practical. And in the
Grounded.
way. It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
This is a movie you go out and you see and you have a fun time,
Mm-hmm.
but while it's thrilling and it keeps you on your
It's-
seat because it's this big story, and then there's a big payoff in the conclusion. That's
Yeah.
where the action really comes in full force.
Absolutely.
With Godzilla coming in to try to save the city or maybe destroy it. I don't know.
I'll find out.
Yeah, go see
It's not 1954 anymore. You can't really just have a guy in a suit. So
You could,
Either
but
get-
it'll be more of a comedy then.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you've ever seen Dave Chappelle, his
Yeah, and
TV show,
and
Chappelle
even
Show.
Arrested Development, that whole part.
Yeah,
that
the
was
monster
totally
battle
like
with
a big
Tiny
like.
Town. Stay tuned for our Arrested Development review of the whole series. Ooh. Spin the letters around 3D, Brian.
I don't know if we can do that.
Yeah, probably not.
We're not that talented.
Helicopter.
There's a lot of helicopters in this movie.
Tons of helicopters.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't have a good time at a 2-hour Godzilla movie
Mm-hmm.
made this year with the technology we have,
With fantastic actors.
I feel
fantastic-
so bad for you.
Yeah, stay inside.
Just watch Transformers.
Flipper. Found it. Today we are flipping with a 1968 penny.
Vintage.
See if we can get close up there. I don't know if you can see that. It took a lot of focus. But 1968 nonetheless. And you can call it in the air, Matt.
Heads.
Drum roll, please. Tails. Damn it, I don't want to go first. That's cool. Tails.
Not tails is a building. There's not tails on it. I don't know why
Yeah.
people say that.
Yeah, I
so-
don't get that either. Heads, tails. Just because one side does have a head, usually.
Right?
Yeah, and then this is not a tail, it's the Lincoln Memorial.
Here you go.
But
Heads are memorial.
the Richter scale.
There you go.
So I think like a big number on the Richter scale is like an 8.
That's big. Yeah, that's
Like
a
I
good
think
one.
that's
a
like
big.
the 2011 tsunami. I believe it was 2011 in Japan.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. How big was the tsunami in Japan on the Richter scale? Was it 9?
9. Holy Jesus.
That is huge.
Yeah. And not only did it destroy tons of people's lives, top of the list is like a 9, let's just say that, on the Richter scale. Bottom is, I guess 1, I don't even know. 0?
0?
0 out of
Negative?
9?
Maybe negative 1?
Negative? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that can, Richter can go negative. But I'd give it a 8. 8.5.
Which one is it? 8 or 8.5?
88.5. No. 8.5 for sure.
8.5.
8.5. Phenomenal movie. The acting is so believable. The story itself is so grounded, even for a monster movie. Like, all the reactions that the humans have are... that's what
Logical.
I would imagine.
That's what I think the military would do nowadays.
Exactly,
With a situation like that. Faces a lot of morality issues of what's the risk of dropping a bomb and trying to kill monsters, or trying to take these things out, but are we, we're going to kill people when we do that too.
Yeah.
Is that worth the risk, or do we maybe put our trust into a monster to save us? Godzilla, doesn't talk like Transformers do.
Yeah.
Transformers could hold their own movie if the humans weren't in it. They talk, they live lives just like us on their planet.
Yeah, they're
Cybertron.
sentient beings that
But Godzilla
understand.
doesn't, talk like a human, or speak English or Japanese.
it's a monster.
It's a monster.
It's not a high-tech robot.
This is a
it's
story
monster.
that actually does need the human background in it. It needs characters that, they might not be completely relatable in the sense like, oh, I've been a nuclear engineer before, but it makes you wonder, what would I do? Like,
bridge scene, Golden Gate Bridge, crazy stuff.
I give this movie an 8.6 out of 9. It's not perfect,
Godzilla Roar Again.
It's not perfect.
No.
I'm sure, if I watched it again, I could maybe see some little plot things that I would have been like, change my mind.
I noticed some little stuff, just in dialogue.
But yeah, I'd say check it out. It's a good summer movie. It's fun. It's a good payoff at the end.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to kick off your summer, for sure.
Yeah.
Please, see you.
See you the next time for what movie?
Oh, Jesus.
X-Men.
X-Men, yeah, X-Men.
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
I hope it's... With that, we will be reviewing X-Men next week.
Yeah, next Men.